How does love sustain when the person you love changes? What is the basis of a good marriage? Do Aur Do Pyar threads this fine line between romance, comedy, and sadness with skill. In one scene, Kavya tells Anirudh that when he climaxes, he sounds like a pressure cooker. At one point in Do Aur Do Pyar, a couple, Kavya and Anirudh, are falling in love with each other. What makes this captivating is that they've already been married for 12 years. We're told that they dated for 3 years before that. But somewhere and at some time, the sparkle and the laughs and the sex just leaked out of their relationship. They became roommates instead of companions. They even took on other lovers. But now they're rediscovering why they connected in the first place. There is this awkward excitement, there's palpable heat. They're also lying to their lovers so that they can be with their spouse. This reverse infidelity is charming and funny. And the leads, Vidya Balan and Pratik Gandhi, are so good at this convoluted mating dance that you can't help but be seduced. Do Aur Do Pyar is an official adaptation of the 2017 American film The Lovers. The plot also echoes the 2009 film It's Complicated, in which Meryl Streep plays a woman who has a secret affair with her ex-husband. I haven't seen The Lovers, but the remake begins with a Groucho Marx quote. Marriage is a wonderful institution, but who wants to live in an institution? Kavya and Anirudh are drowning in marriage fatigue. They seem to have settled into a state of tolerable boredom. They seek joy and friendship outside of each other. Their deepest conversations are now about air conditioning, garbage bags, allergy meds. This is not territory that Hindi cinema ventures into often. With Hum Aapke Hain Kaun and Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge, weddings became a staple in our cinema, but fewer storytellers delved into what comes after. The peak of infidelity movies was of course Karan Johar's Kabhi Alvida Na Kehna. But debutant director Shirsha Guha Thakurta isn't interested in that sort of heightened melodrama or dazzle. What's lovely about Do Aur Do Pyar is that Kavya and Anirudh are regular, familiar people. She's a dentist who discusses orgasms while cleaning teeth. And he runs a coke factory that he inherited from his father. Once upon a time, Anirudh was a budding musician, but now he waxes eloquent about coke. He is, as he says, a mamuli sa boring aadmi.
I think we're pregnant.
Shit. मेरा ही होगा है ना?
How does love sustain when the person you love changes? And eventually, what is the basis of a good marriage? Do Aur Do Pyar suggests that it's a sense of mischief and good sex. Vidya and Pratik nail this friendship between Kavya and Anirudh. There is such a lived-in camaraderie between the two, especially in the Ooty portion when the characters reconnect. Pratik, who is also blazing in the recent Madgaon Express, has the innate ability to be ordinary without being dull. He captures the weariness of Anirudh and his loss. The death of his father also led to the death of something essential inside him. And Vidya is voluptuous and vibrant as Kavya, who desperately seeks love where she can find it. Vidya, who altered the narrative of the female-led film with The Dirty Picture, continues to redefine what constitutes sexy in Hindi cinema. Kavya is 38. She's a woman with curves, and she's all the more desirable for it. It's also a treat to have Sendhil Ramamurthy back. The industrial strength allure is still in place. And the script by Isha Chopra and Supratim Sen Gupta puts his accent and NRI status to good use. His mangling of the Hindi language only makes him more attractive.
तुम हमेशा मेरे सार पे बेटी हो.
क्या?
You are always on my mind.
हिंदी का मर्डर करना बंद करो.
Amongst the four, Ileana D'Cruz is saddled with the most underwritten character. Nora is slightly vain. She's a needy, aspiring actor. Ileana does it well, but it's hard to imagine that a woman like that would go for a man like Anirudh. Though we do understand why he might find solace with her. At one point, Anirudh says, "Mujhe sirf yehi aata hai, cheezon ko sambhalna." Watch out also for Thalaiwasal Vijay playing Kavya's father Venkat. His unforgiving nature fuels much of Kavya's rage, and yet there's always something borderline amusing about him. One of his scenes feels like Shirsha is paying homage to the iconic plumber scene from Shakun Batra's Kapoor and Sons. Do Aur Do Pyar threads this fine line between romance, comedy, and sadness with skill. There are lines, the dialogue is by Isha Supratim and Amrita Bagchi, that made me laugh out loud. In one scene, Kavya tells Anirudh that when he climaxes, he sounds like a pressure cooker. It's also lovely that there are no judgments here on husband, wife, or their lovers. They're all decent people doing their best to find a semblance of happiness. However, do not go in expecting the blistering truth of a film like Marriage Story. Do Aur Do Pyar might be relatable, but it's also a somewhat sanitized take on relationships. Conversations never get too raw or too ugly, which is absolutely fine. I enjoyed seeing fine actors playing good people finding themselves and each other. I think you will too. You can see Do Aur Do Pyar at a theatre near you.